Hello everyone, welcome to part 2. Now we shall be continuing from the last one. We will be continuing the slides and the content from the last part 1 only. So let's proceed further, integrating SDG 13 in education system. For this, I'm going to invite Ma'am Divya. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So as we saw previously in the Green Buds preschool, the children and the teacher, Miss Nia, observed something that was changing in the climate, in the garden, basically. So once the children at the Buds preschool understood that the garden was suffering due to a climate change, they didn't wait for somebody else to fix the problem. They became the guardians and their preschool climate heroes. So let's have a look. What did they do for their garden? They took the matter into their hands, and quite literally, they became what they probably proudly been called as green guardians. Each child played, and showing the small hands can bring a big hope together. Let's explore their actions, what they actually did. The first thing is basically rain buckets. They began by collecting the rainwater in the buckets. The simple step helped them save clean water and kept the garden hydrated, especially important when the soil was becoming dry and the weather was becoming extensively hot. So, this teaches us water conservation where every drop needs to be used wisely. The second of all, they planted seeds. They planted more seeds, especially in shady spots where sunlight wouldn't burn the fragile young plants. By doing this, they brought more greenery and life back to the school garden, which they love dearly. So, this action also shows us that planting trees and plants is a direct way to fight the climate change. Thirdly, they recycle trash. The children also cleaned up plastic and waste for the garden. They separated the trash, reused items, and made sure the surroundings were clean and safe for both the nature as well as the animals. This shows us the importance of managing waste and reducing pollution. So the children were wise enough to take the steps very appropriate to the environmental concerns. Also, they planned to walk to school instead of using the cars or the buses every day. They choose to walk to school, helping to reduce air pollution and their carbon footprint. Walking also made them feel more connected to the nature around them. And this wisely highlights how sustainable transport and how kids can influence the family habits too. So, in this way, the children were able to become the guardians, and they were able to be the preschool climate heroes.
Quickly said, ma'am. And for carbon footprint, I still remember that in one of the sessions we had covered all about it, and you can go and check out that session for a complete knowledge related to carbon footprint. Let's proceed further. Now I'm going to invite Ma'am Veena for this. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now talking about the elder and older heroes, we were talking about the younger ones right now. So, how our smarties can take care of the environment? Like they can partner with the local organization, like this school management. There can be a club within the school, which is like environment club, and they can interact with the local organizations, and then they can go for the solutions. It can be related to like going and can say taking some awareness program, like teaching about what should be done by those can say the community people. And it can be about a certain a small nukkad natak where they present how actually the careless steps by the human being is, I can say, hampering the environment, and what care and how the care can be taken. Talking about the, like as I have said, next, that is climate change awareness. So this is very important because we know even now the literacy rate in the country is low. That means there are people who actually don't know why the change is happening and what is their role in this change, and whether something can be done. So this way people have to be made aware. So this is very important that way. Then talking about like a campaign where students can take up certain research, like they can take up where I can say there are actually incidents, and there are actually where I can say there are certain villages, certain cities, and different parts of the country where this problem was there, like talking about Jharkhand somewhere, talking about Karnataka, where there was acute shortage of water, and people have already taken major steps to ensure that they come back to the original condition, right? That like from no water to all water condition they have done. And very important, the last which I wanted to discuss, that is adopting a village for service. Like this can be done with the help of the sarpanch and the school management. Like they can discuss and then identify the problem and then go for the solutions. And this is going to help in improving the quality of life of the people over there. So these are a few ways which I have suggested, but there are actually many ways which can also be checked from the newspapers. Recently, I was reading about where there was a lot of problems in water. Actually, the water was, they were not able to have water within the area. But because of the watershed management, they have been able to get water back to their villages. So those case studies also can be brought into light by the students in the school or in the local areas, so that people can take step and we can have the good climate. And these are the, these are steps which we will ensure that climate doesn't change further, and we have all the islands as islands and they are not submerged because of the melting glaciers.
Perfectly said, ma'am. And thank you so much for sharing the practical examples. The examples which are easy to be implemented in the classrooms. So, all the educators, students, volunteers, those who are watching, these are all practical examples. As in different celebrity shows, even we hear that they are adopting villages, they are adopting animals, extinct species. So it is not only up to the auditory listening, it is into play. So the idea is that these are all practical examples, and we motivate all of you to implement it in your daily life, in your surroundings, in your groups, in your peer listeners. So, quickly, let's move on to this part. And I invite Ma'am Divya for this. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As ma'am was mentioning about climate change awareness, so the children here also at the pre-bud school basically became the green guardians, and they started to bring up a real change. So as you can see, what was the impact after what they tried to actually do it for the garden? The garden started to bloom again. The plants began to grow, the flowers stood tall, and the nature started healing. So children could observe this thing, and they were quite related to this. Just in front of their eyes, they were able to see the change being happening, and thanks to their constant care and actions. Right. So what did they learn? They told the families that learning didn't stop at school. They went home. The children became messengers of climate action in their homes, teaching the parents and siblings simply how eco-friendly habits that can be adopted. Some basic things that we can adopt even at home. So how do we feel about it? We feel really proud. As children, most importantly, we feel really empowered, not helpless. They saw themselves as responsible Earth citizens. They saw that they could be the ones to bring a change and not just observe that what was happening around them. This shows that climate action is not just about saving plants, It's about being responsible and kind humans. And children at the school really learn that skill. Miss Nia helped them learn this skill. Along the journey, children gained some lifelong lessons. And what were these? What climate change means. They understood that Earth's rising temperature, water shortages, and wildlife loss are all linked to human activities. So they observed, they experienced, and they practically did something to bring a change. The secondly, they saw that specifically how small actions can make big differences. Even watering plants, which saved rainwater, they stored in the bucket, right? And they use the same water for basically watering the plants or basically picking up the litter can change the world around them. And when they did it, they basically saw the world changing around them. That is what made them happy. Another thing that the kids really felt themselves as they believed they were the climate heroes. They discovered that you don't need to grow up to become and make a big real impact. You need to be grown up enough for that. So even being small kids, you need to be just be brave enough to care and act. And that is what they did. The transformation of the mindset from being passive observers to proud protectors of the earth is what is one thing that they brought into the live action. And this happened at a preschool, because of which they became the earth heroes. So, how to become an earth hero? This encourages everyone to listen to their actions, and the story closes with a three parts message. Simply, how to become an earth hero: you need to care for the earth, you need to learn and act, and you need to team up. And how did the children do it? Our actions help our home. They cared for the earth. Taking care of the earth is like taking care of the garden. They simply just gave love and attention. Water plants, don't waste food, and treat the nature with respect. Basic things that we can learn at the nearby surroundings that we are having. Just like the way ma'am mentioned about climate change awareness. So just the way to create an awareness at home as well as for self. Learn and act. Simple actions make big differences. And that is where the small steps to reuse water, say no to plastic, plant a tree, they don't just think about it, just do it. And then lastly, team up. Work with friends and family. Climate action is not an individual thing. Encourage your schoolmates, family, and community to take part in simple actions and environment friendly actions. So, together we can protect the planet, not just by us, but for all the future generations. With this, let us promise all today to become the green guardians, to take the small steps and to take care of our earth, like the little ones did in the little garden, because it is for us. Thank you.
That's so lovely, ma'am. Be an earth hero because there is no planet B. And with this, at last, we always talk about these campaigns, and you can even go to the description box. You can click on the link, you can support the campaigns. I unite to act as we all are SDG4 supporters. This is campaign Aniruddha 1.0. You can again go to the description box and support this campaign. Even you can share your pictures, plant saplings, and motivate children. Our little darlings in schools, in surroundings are our brand ambassadors. So always inculcate in children the importance of nature and how you can save your planet A. Thank you everyone for watching both the parts. For your queries, you can mail us at abcteaching875@gmail.com. Certificate generation link will be there in description box for 24 hours only. You can generate your certificate within that time limit. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope these SDG sessions will help you to inculcate in your daily life and in your education system.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.